Let's talk about sassafras. This is sassafras. It is native to quite a few areas in the eastern United States, as well as the very southern areas of Canada. It is a shrub, and it has so many uses and benefits. Probably the most famous and well-known one is that sassafras used to be a flavoring in root beer. It's part of what gave root beer its very distinctive flavoring, and has since then been phased out of use because sassafras has now been discovered to cause liver damage. So at least in commercially sold root beer, it is now banned and replaced with artificial flavorings. However, in homemade root beer, sassafras is still very widely used. However, it is still used in cooking contexts in other places, such as in Cajun cooking in dishes like gumbo, as well as in Native American dishes from many different indigenous groups across the range that it's found in. Traditionally, it's used as a flavoring agent in dishes, but also used to cure meats as well, and also has many traditional medicinal uses, such as rubbing the leaves on a wound, steeping them into tea, and has been used to treat many sorts of ailments, from anything to acne to fevers to urinary issues. Additionally, the wood is occasionally, not super commonly used, but is used in woodworking in things like furniture, and it produces some essential oils that are used in contexts that essential oils are usually used in. Ecologically, it's also very important. It is a very good host species for many types of moths and butterflies to grow their caterpillars on, such as the spicebush swallowtail butterfly that I've talked about before on here. It also produces quite large thickets of other sassafras bushes by cloning itself, kind of, where it just sends up shoots from the main tree that develop into their own separate tree, but with the same genetics as the original. This provides a good area of hiding and nesting for things like birds and rodents, as well as cover for larger predators. It's also quite important for things like pollinators, such as the butterflies that will later lay their eggs on the leaves. Now, sassafras largely has fallen out of commercial use since there is other better sources, such as synthetic flavorings and dyes that would traditionally be made with sassafras. However, in other cases, you can't replace the original, such as in many Cajun and indigenous cooking recipes where sassafras is still used because you can't really get anything like the OG. It also had a large impact on North American, especially colonial and Native American history, because British people and their spices, there was a very large sassafras trade when other countries, largely England, colonized North America, and they developed a trade for sassafras with the indigenous people that lived there. And of course, that colonization went however colonization goes, and we all know what happened, but sassafras did play, albeit a comparatively small part in that, but it did play a part in that as well.